Hey guys, you're watching or listening to the Shift Training Podcast,
where we discuss about personal development. We talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health, and just overall well-being.
And today we're going to be talking about excuses versus grace. Yeah. So yesterday I was listening to a podcast episode with Andy Frisello, and someone sent the question of what is the difference between excuses and grace? And I said, this is interesting. And Andy said something I really agree with, but I also have some other thoughts on that. So I think today we'll talk about that a little bit.
Sweet.
Vaughn, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on excuses?
My thoughts on excuses, I'm going to use Jocko Willink's topic of excuses. So the way he explained excuses is that if, let's say, you want to go to the gym and you said that you're too tired, your shoes aren't the right shoes, or your clothes, or you said that you don't have enough sleep, those are all lies. Those are your excuses. But you know what's the truth? The truth is you feel not confident.
Yeah, I could see that. I think when Jocko is talking about that, he's definitely talking about how those are justifications to not do the thing you said you were going to do, to not stick to discipline, to take the easy way out is what he said, or the path of least resistance. So, your goal is here, and then you start going, well, this thing and this thing and this thing. I think because of this thing, the bar should be down here instead of here where I originally said it should be.
100%.
And I think that's part of what makes an excuse an excuse.
Now, remember, all your excuses are valid, but what are you going to do with those excuses?
Yes.
You gotta set those bars.
Valid lies, yes. Valid lies.
That's right.
Yeah, and like you said, the truth might be that, you're not feeling motivated to do it, or you don't want to do it for this or that reason, right? But is that the justification that you find acceptable to not reach what you said you want to reach?
That's right. You're looking for an easy way out.
Right. And the way I also think about excuses, I think about excuses happening beforehand. Like excuses are the justification before you go do something, like you're trying to lessen it before even stepping into it. Excuses can happen after, like trying to excuse a certain behavior, but I think of those more of like justifications, trying to get that acceptance, but I don't think it's fitting. I don't think it matches. But I think that's how we get to grace.
Yeah, grace is all about giving your 100% best and try not to compare yourself with other people, because when you start comparing yourself to others, you'll never be satisfied. So grace for me is more of a progression, while excuses, you try to be perfect, perfectionism, which leads to procrastination. Grace is you feel that there's hope, while excuses, you make yourself feel hopeless. Another thing is grace is you're okay with the mess, while excuses, you let the mess define you.
Oh, dang, trash. Don't want to do that. Not a good way to live. I would say grace for me, the way that I view grace is tied to understanding and acceptance. So I would say that grace is good to have after the fact. So you leave your excuses somewhere else, then you move towards the action. You do your absolute best. If you fall short of the goal because you went, don't make a bunch of justifications or excuses as to why you didn't hit it. I think you need to give yourself grace and accept, okay, where did I not do my best? Why did I fall off? Okay, next time I'm going to do this instead. Why don't you take a proactive action against said excuse or justification for your lack of performance?
Right, yeah. So let's say, you didn't hit your goal today. There's always tomorrow.
That's right. And that's grace. Right. So I think that's my 2 cents on excuses and grace is like excuses are going to happen before, and it's a justification to try to find the path of least resistance. Like Jocko would say, to leave discipline behind. And grace is when you actually accept, you understand and accept what has happened, what has occurred. You fell short, whatever it is, grace. Someone else fell short, grace. Whatever it is. All right, cool. How can we do better next time? All right, we did what we could this time. We're moving on.
That's right. Learn from your mistakes and move on.
That's it. Vaughn, is there anything else you'd like to add about excuses or grace?
That's it for me.
All right, cool. Where can they find us?
Please don't forget to follow us on our social media, Shift on Your Life. And then don't forget to subscribe or comment what you guys think of excuses versus grace on Shift Training.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We appreciate you taking the time to listen or watch, and we hope that you have a fantastic day. Peace.